Good afternoon, and all is set for the second edition of the South African Investment Conference, scheduled for tomorrow, the 6th of November to the 7th of November, here in Sandton, Johannesburg. About 1,500 delegates, including policymakers, investors, and politicians, are expected at this particular event. Now, South Africa, which is Africa's second largest economy, says it is opening up its economy, and it is moving from red tape to red carpet. Now, this event will be live on GTV in Ghana and also on GBC News. But before the event tomorrow, we get to speak to South Africa's Investment Development Corporation. We speak to the chief executive, who is Mr. TP Nchocho. Let's get an idea of how they contribute to the investment drive of South Africa. Good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon.
I hope I got your name right.
Yes, TP Nchocho.
Right. So your corporation, what's your role in South Africa's development agenda?
Thank you for the opportunity. The Industrial Development Corporation, the IDC, is a state-owned development finance institution wholly owned by the South African government, but which has a mandate to operate across the rest of the African continent. So we provide development finance everywhere on the continent, of course, within certain specified policy parameters, which I will explain. I mean, the Industrial Development Corporation, if I can just say this, is the largest state-owned bank, the largest state-owned development corporation. It is only second to the African Development Bank, which is itself a multinational, multilateral development finance corporation.
Right. Yeah. So the event comes off tomorrow, the investment conference.
Yeah.
What is your role in ensuring that all the commitments, all the pledges that are made here, including those that were made last year in 2018, are implemented, are put together and seen on the ground?
Yeah, the governance system around the investment conference is such that there is an interministerial committee that supervises the entire conference, including what you're referring to, i.e. following up on investment pledges.
Right.
With regards to the Industrial Development Corporation itself, one, we are a co-organizer of the event, so we have been having a full team working with a team from the presidency as well as our colleagues in government in the organization of this event. And in the third instance, we are a financier of many of the projects that have come through. I think the details will come through tomorrow. We have funded projects, for instance, in the telecommunications environment, a production facility down in Durban that produces phone sets, smartphone sets. And so such information will be coming through by way of feedback tomorrow during the conference.
But you can give us some hints. I mean, the pledges that were made last year, are there any ones that are on the ground already?
There are those that are on the ground already. We had a breakfast with the President of the Republic, President Ramaphosa, this morning.
Right.
Perhaps out of respect, I should leave those details to him to make the announcements tomorrow of the projects that indeed have been realized since the last conference.
Right. So can you help us understand your exposure to the rest of Africa? How much of investment do you make in the rest of Africa, apart from South Africa where you're based?
Yeah. The general guideline that we have as an institution is that we invest anywhere between 10 and 15% of our capital allocation in the rest of the continent, and then the rest, a substantial portion, in the South African market. So as we speak today, the total exposure that we have advanced to the rest of the continent outside South Africa is just in excess of $1 billion. And these investments have been made in various sectors. We have invested in tourism, leisure assets, hotels, lodges. We have invested substantial amounts of money in telecommunications assets, infrastructure in the ICT environment. We have invested substantially in projects in the energy sector, energy generation, as well as renewable energy projects. So those are some of the reference projects that I can make.
Maybe because I'm a Ghanaian, I would like to understand your level of investment in Ghana. Which are some of the companies that you've assisted so far
Yeah.
in West Africa?
Ghana is really an important economy as far as we are concerned from a strategy of the IDC perspective, but also from a perspective of the growth of the continent. The level of our investment in Ghana has not been as substantial as we would like it to be.
Right.
It is somewhere in the order of around $120 million. If we express it in dollar terms. And these have been in 3 areas up to now. One, in the energy sector.
Right.
We have participated in the financing of a gas-fired energy project in Ghana. In the second instance, we have participated in the financing of a leisure tourism asset in the form of a significant hotel in Ghana. In the third instance,
And
we
which hotel is that?
Again, you don't want to talk specifics of clients and so on and so on,
Right.
because the thing about clients is that they prefer that they be the one to feature their own projects.
Okay.
Yeah. And in the third instance, it's an industry in the chemicals environment.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's come back to South Africa. Tomorrow the conference starts. What are the 3 key areas that you think are the hanging fruits for any investor, which is very much ready for investment in South Africa?
In South Africa today,
Right.
the South African economy, remember, as you said, is second largest, but probably the most sophisticated, the most advanced. So in the first instance, companies that are interested in investing in a diverse set of manufacturing businesses, be it in the clothing and textile environment, be it in the chemicals and the pharmaceutical space, would have the opportunity to invest in this country. And because we have a sophisticated infrastructure system in the form of the ports, in the form of the airports, companies that locate here would have the opportunity to indeed not only to trade in South Africa but to export their product.
Okay.
In the second instance, South Africa is still very much well endowed with mineral resources. For companies that still want to invest, be it in the gold sector, be it in the platinum sector, be it in the heavy minerals in the form of iron ore or manganese, South Africa still has substantial levels of unexploited resources in those
We'll be wrapping
sectors.
up on this interview, but I've listened to local radio here in South Africa, and they say that at this particular moment, South Africa doesn't need an investment conference. What you need is to do the things on the ground. Do you agree to that?
The investment conference paves the way
Right.
for the actual investments to take place. So it is only a prelude to the actual action. So it provides a platform for putting forward and showcasing the investments. And the critical challenge then, as I suppose your colleagues were saying, is to then for those commitments to find expression through implementation.
Right. Investors are very much conscious about bureaucracies here and there. Has South Africa done anything to reduce the turnaround time of, say, registering a business, of getting permits here and there?
Precisely. Tomorrow, I think the Minister of Trade and Industry of South Africa will be showcasing and announcing a system of one-stop shop, as it has come to be known in general business circles, where indeed people can register a business, apply for certain licenses and regulatory approvals that they require, and within a very short specified time would be served as such. I'm aware such a center is being set up here in Center.
Right. Finally, maybe you look into the camera and tell the many investors that will come tomorrow. What do you have for them? What will you say to them?
What I would say to the investors out there is, one, South Africa is open for business. Two, this country has sophisticated infrastructure that enables trade. In the third instance, this country has very sophisticated financial and capital market systems that enable raising of money in order to finance capital projects. And I think in the third instance, the country offers beautiful hospitality. for people to enjoy themselves in this country.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Much appreciated.
And Mr. T.P. Nchocho is the Chief Executive of the South African Industrial Development Corporation. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.